Hello, good afternoon everyone. I am going to start my audio class. This is for 4th SEM general class and the paper is History of Assam from 1228 to 1826 and it's unit number 4 of your syllabus, the downfall of the Ahoms. There are two important causes for the downfall of the Ahoms. It is the Maumere rebellion, and the second is that the Burmese invasions. Already in my video class, so I have discussed about the Maumere rebellion, and in this audio class I have taken that the Burmese invasions. The topic is causes of the Burmese invasions, causes and consequences of the Burmese invasions. One important reason of the downfall of the 600 years Home Rule from 1228 to 1826 was the Burmese invasion. Actually, there were three Burmese invasions, 1817, 1819 and 21, that brought Assam to the position of bloodshed, rapine, plunder and devastation. And subsequently that its fall down came. So now I am going to discuss about the causes of the Burmese invasions, three invasions. Actually, the Burmese came to invade Assam. It was on the invitation of Badan Chandra, the then Barfukan of Guwahati. But the Burmese already decided to invade Assam, and the invitation of Badan Chandra, it was like a God-sent opportunity to fulfill their long cherished desire. Already they decided. There were some reasons. So why they decided to invade Assam? The reasons we have to discuss in the context of that the Anglo-Burmese relations prior to the Burmese invasions. Then next is the Burmese interest in Assam, or you can say that Home-Burmese relations, and lastly that the clashes between Badan Chandra, Borfukan and Purnananda Buragohai. So firstly I am going to discuss, we can take these three causes. The firstly is the Anglo-Burmese relations. So how it turns into conflict. Since the time of the Burmese king Alung Paya, Alungpaya, Alung Paya, ruled from 1752 to 1780, the Burmese court followed the policy of territorial aggrandizement. That policy of his father was also followed by his son Bodo Paya. Bodo Paya in 1784 conquered Arakan. This brought Arakan, Arakan. This brought the Burmese Empire close to the British possessions in India on the Chittagong side. The river NAF, making the boundary. The Burmese misrule and tyranny in Arakan drove a large number of Arakani people for shelter to the British territories. The relation between the Burmese and the British government strained over the question of the return of the Arakani refugee. The Burmese even encouraged the British territories. The Burmese also lay claims on the British territory of Chittagong, Lakhimpur Chittagong, Lakhipur, Dhaka, and whole of Kasim Bazar. In 1813, rumors were afloated that the Burmese were making preparation for the conquest of British India. So, the Anglo-Burmese conflict became a matter of the time, precipitate the Anglo-Burmese war ultimately. Then the next cause is the Burmese interest in Assam. The Burmese were in need of a base to fight the British India. So the Burmese king began attempting to establish his influence over the states lying between Burma and the British India. The first choice was Manipur. By intervening in the War of Succession of Manipur in 1813, the Burmese king supported Manjit Singh, the younger brother, and deposed Surjit Singh on the condition of Surjit Singh was the elder brother, on the condition of acknowledging the Burmese sovereignty and ceding the Kabo Valley to the Burmese. So Manjit Singh acknowledged the Burmese sovereignty and ceded the Kabo Valley to the Burmese. Then the Burmese observed the events of Assam that was created by the Maumere rebellion. Bodo Paya considered Assam to be the best place to be used against the British. So here we have to discuss about that the Anglo-Burmese war. Ahom-Burmese relations. We have to discuss Ahom-Burmese relations that was going on before these events. The relation between the Ahoms and the Burmese had become strained since the days of Rajeshwar Sinha, who extended his help to Jai Singh, the king of Manipur, to get the throne recovered from the Burmese possessions. Rajeshwar Sinha helped Jai Singh to recover his throne from the Burmese possessions. It deteriorated further. So this had dissatisfied the Burmese. It was against Ahom. Deteriorated further when Punananda Buragohai helped a rebellious San chief of Hukong Valley against a Burmese king. San chief of Hukong Valley against a Burmese king. It was in 1806. So those were happening. Meanwhile, the situation of Assam encouraged the Burmese to take interest in Assam. So the situation of Assam, it was very conducive for the Burmese to interfere there to invade Assam. When the Mauryaas in league with Singphos and Khamtis sought Burmese assistance against the Ahom government, King Bodo Paya sent Burmese troops twice. Who entered Assam? Bodo Paya sent the troops to invade Assam, but Punananda Buragohai. So Punananda Buragohai means his position, it was like a prime minister, Buragohai. When you study the Ahom administration, you come to know. So there are three Gohais, Buragohai, Borgohai, Borpatra Gohai, and he was the sixth Gohai. His position was like a prime minister. And Punananda, he was the best official the ever Ahom had produced. And it was during the Muamuria rebellion, he was the man who can maintain the integrity of the empire, of the Ahom royalty. And this time also, so he managed to send them back, these Burmese troops, back, offering bribes and presents. So he saved Assam this time from the Burmese invasion. Again in 1796, the Ahom prince Bijoy Bormura Gohai, one Ahom prince, his name was Bijoy Bormura Gohai, sought the assistance of Bodo Paya in giving the throne of Assam, in gaining the throne of Assam. In return, he promised to become a Burmese vassal and help him against the British. So he assured to be a Burmese vassal and also help him against the British. Bodo Paya, in response, sent a force in response to Bijoy Bormura Gohai, sent a force of 20,000. But that was not recalled on the intervention of Captain Cox. He was a British resident in the Burmese capital of Amorapur. So on his intervention, so that was not materialized. That cannot be done. So thus Assam was saved from the Burmese invasion during up till that time. Then how Bodan Chandra's invitation came to Bodo Paya? How? Why Bodan Chandra had invited to invade Assam? It was why he invited Bodo Paya. So it was basically the clashes, his clashes with Buragohai, Punananda Buragohai. So to know about the clashes between Punananda Buragohai and Bodan Chandra, we have to know about the then king. His name was Chandrakanta Sinha, because during his time that the Burmese had started their invasion. So we have to know about Chandrakanta Sinha also. After the death of Kamaleshwar Sinha in 1811, Punananda Buragohai, with the concurrence of other nobles, placed his brother to the throne. He assumed the name, Hindu name Chandrakanta, and Ahom name Sudingpha, and his reign saw that the fateful Burmese invasion of Assam. So by nature, Chandrakanta was a pleasure-loving man, intriguing and fond of pleasure. As he grew, so he began to get relief from the influence of the Buragohai, because during that time that Punananda was a patriot, and also that he was the most influential person of the Ahom kingdom. So he wanted to get relief from the influence of the Buragohai. So he cultivated friendship with Satram, with one person. His name was Satram. The son of an officer appointed him Saringya Phukan, who became the friend, philosopher and guide to the king, this Satram. Satram had a conspiracy to assassinate the Buragohai, and where they are to believe that king was a party to the conspiracy with Badan Chandra. But that conspiracy was discovered. The other people connected with that conspiracy put to death. Satram was sent to the punishment to Namrup. So Namrup was famous at that time as a Koliapani of Assam, Ahom government. Badan and king, they were not suspected. They did not come under suspicion. So that was happened, and Chandrakanta, he himself involved with that. Then the other incident, then the clashes between Badan Chandra and Punananda. The clashes between the Badan Chandra and Punananda, that was started when Punananda came to know that during the Barkandaj dominance in Lower Assam. Barkandaj means Burkandaz, Barkandaz. So they were the Hindustani sepoys under East India Company of Bengal. They came to Assam, they brought to Assam during the time of King Gaurinath Sinha to suppress the rebellion that was started in Lower Assam. So they were the sepoys. So these Barkandaz people, so that at the time they dominated the Lower Assam. So what happened when Punananda Buragohai, he came to know that during the Barkandaj dominance in Lower Assam politics, he procured for himself the office of Borfukan. Badan Chandra procured for himself the office of Borfukan by bribing of the Barkandaj leader Hazara Singh, H-A-Z-A-R-A, a sum of 60,000 rupees. So that amount was bribed to Hazara Singh by Badan Chandra, and that Badan Chandra paid this amount by some highly objectionable means. That came to know by Punananda Buragohai. And after receiving this information, what happened? Punananda Buragohai immediately dismissed Badan Chandra Borfukan when he came to know that he had taken the post by bribing Hazara Singh. So he was dismissed. And Kolia Bhumura was appointed as a Borfukan of Guwahati. But what happened? Sometimes later, Punananda's son entered into the marriage relations with the daughter of Badan Chandra Borfukan. And for this family ties, that Punananda Buragohai again installed, or Badan Chandra reinstated his former position on the date of Kolia Bhumura. Kolia Bhumura died very soon. So after his death, once again Badan Chandra Borfukan was appointed. Badan Chandra was appointed as a Borfukan because for the family ties between Badan Chandra and Punananda. So this was a great event because it had led so many the future history actually proved that. So by this act, here is a very beautiful that it's quote by S.B.Deorah, what written. So it is quoted by S.B.Deorah that by this act of his, the Premier was not only digging his own grave, but was also eventually bringing the great deluge, the Burmese invasion of Assam. So that was done by Punananda Buragohain, again reinstated to that position. Then after installation to his position, Badan Chandra soon revived his lust for power and wealth and grow arrogant. So that was his nature, definitely. So he grew arrogant. His approach of utilization of revenue of Kamrup on his direction, but was rejected by the king and on the advice of the Buragohain. That was rejected, that he approached for utilization of the revenue of Kamrup. Soon afterwards, the reports of Badan Chandra's mismanagement, including that of misappropriation of the items and articles of worship in Kamakhya, reached the Premier. Some misappropriation of the items and articles of worship in Kamakhya temple. So there were also reports of oppression on the people of Kamrup, that Borphukon had intoxicated an elephant with bhang and let it loose among the innocent villagers. So that report, it was reached to the Buragohain, intoxicated an elephant with bhang and that it was let loose among the villagers. And also his sons, so they get pleasure by seeing that the elephant had destroyed the houses of the innocent villagers. So this had created problem during that time. According to one Buranji, Buranji means it's chronicles. So Ahom had their practice of maintaining the records of every events. So that is called Buranji. So according to one Buranji, the main cause of rift between Buragohain and the Borphukon was a question of opium. During that time, opium in Assamese it is called kani. So wide circulation in Assam. So ultimately British, after coming to Assam, they had prohibited. So earlier opium was used in Assam as a drug. It was by the king and the nobles only, but the Barkandajis, they taught the common people the practice. The habit became widespread. So Punananda Buragohain, he promulgated a strict order for prohibiting the taking of opium and cultivating it. People cultivated the opium in their house. Maybe it's called thopat. So Punananda, he ordered for prohibiting the opium cultivation and use of opium. But Borphukon, he disregarded the order which called for the intervention from the Buragohain. So then also conflict started. This was considered an insult by Borphukon. who henceforth nourished ill feeling against the premier. So he intervened, so then it was started the ill feeling. Meanwhile, the king himself brooded a conspiracy to destroy the Bura Gohai in league with Borpatra Gohai also. Even wrote a letter to Borphukon directing him to procure British aid to destroy the Bura Gohai. Here, every time the king was involved to destroy the Bura Gohai with try with the Borphukon. The plot, however, was discovered. The king pleaded his ignorance. Then Bura Gohai sent force to apprehend the Borphukon. So when the Borphukon came to know that when the Bura Gohai came to know that Borphukon he had a conspiracy against the Bura Gohai, so he sent force. Receiving that message, Borphukon he effected his escape to Bengal. He went to Bengal when he received a message. Then Badan Chandra tried to persuade the Governor General of Bengal to send army against the Bura Gohai. But the British government at that time followed the policy of non-intervention, and he did not get the help there, and he went to Amarapur, the Burmese capital, and requested the king Bodo Paya for armed help against the Bura Gohai. Here, Bodo Paya's Assamese queen Rongili, she was Rongili, she also persuaded the king to help Badan Chandra. Then Badan Chandra placed an army of 8,000 strong, because Bodo Paya already decided that Assam should be a base against the British. He was in search of the opportunity how to invade Assam, occupy Assam, and then think about the British territory to fight against the British. So immediately, he decided to send the force. He had helped Badan Chandra with an army of 8,000 soldiers, and that had been increased to 16,000 when it was being joined en route by the chief of Hukong Valley. The chief of Hukong Valley joined, then it becomes 16,000. The Burmese army arrived at Namrup through the Patkai Nang Yang route. That was in 1817, and the Bura Gohai, when he heard the news of the entry of the Burmese force, immediately he fell down and died. Maybe that was a brain stroke for him. And thus started the first Burmese invasion of Assam. That was also followed by the second and the third Burmese invasion. It was in 1819 and 21. And during the third Burmese invasion, the Burmese started the reign of terror, and they stayed in Assam for a long time. So those were the horror days, known as the Manordin. Horror days for Assam. The atrocities, killing, burning, all were the events of the days. And subsequently, the first Anglo-Burmese war. So already I have discussed the Anglo-Burmese conflict ultimately. So the war started in the three sectors in Assam, Arakan and Rangoon. The Burmese defeated in the war and had to sign in the Treaty of Yandabo 24th of February 1826, and after this treaty that the British annexation in Assam was started and thus came to an end of the 600 years rule of the Ahoms in Assam. So ultimately it was through the Burmese invasion. So disturbances started with the Mohammedan rebellion, and ultimately through the Burmese invasion the Ahom rule came to an end. That's all. Thank you. So just one thing. So for this question, for this topic, I follow a comprehensive history of Assam by S.B.Deorah and history of Assam by Edward Gate. Okay, once again, thank you.